We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Republican Wayne Clark, your delegate for West Virginia's 99th District. Income tax cuts for all West Virginians? Wayne delivered. School choice for kids and families? Wayne delivered. Protecting our kids from online predators? Wayne delivered. Republican Wayne Clark has worked to pass some of the most conservative policies in our state, protecting the rights of the unborn and our Second Amendment rights, bringing good-paying jobs for West Virginians. Vote to re-elect Wayne Clark in the Republican primary on May 14th. Paid for by Wayne Clark for West Virginia.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
I'm Kent Leonhardt, your Commissioner of Agriculture for the great state of West Virginia, and I'm here at the New River Gorge trying to make sure people understand the importance of what the Department of Agriculture does. West Virginia is the only state in the Chesapeake Bay region that's meeting the 2025 restoration goals. We want to make sure that we continue to have the clean waters and the beautiful forests that make West Virginia tourism so popular. I'm Kent Leonhardt, and I'm asking for your vote in the May primary of 2024.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Play ball!
It's time for the fun and excitement of West Virginia high school baseball. Today's game is being brought to you by
Parsons Ford, Rocks, the Heffley Motor Company, the Wagner Law Firm, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, the Skinner Law Firm, the Browns Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, Orsini's, Carter Myers Automotive, Century 21 Modern Realty Results, the Palace Lounge, Cody's Auto Body, WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Mother Shuckers, L.A. Roberts Jewelers, the Dutch Miller Auto Group, and the Mansion Freddie Law Firm.
And now for the pregame show. Let's go out to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Good afternoon from P.O. Faulkner Park for West Virginia High School EPAC Baseball and Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, as well as WRNR TV on YouTube, as we welcome you into the pregame show brought to you by Skinner Accident Injury Lawyers, representing accident injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. Colin McLaughlin here alongside me is Trip Tobin, our on-site producers, John Alderton, cameraman's Dylan Bishop. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini, as today it's the Jefferson Cougars coming in 19-10 overall, taking on the number one team in the state, the Martinsburg Bulldogs, with a record of 26-2. And with the pregame ceremony that will go on here shortly in honor of Buzzy Jackson, we're going to get right into our coaches' interviews. Make sure we get those in before the ceremony, which is brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. Now joined by the head coach of the Jefferson Cougars, Sean Lowry. Coach Lowry, before we kind of get into this game, seating's already come out for the region and the section. Just get your comments about your team's position first and foremost before anything else.
Well, we're the number 2 seed in our section, which means we'll play next Tuesday against Hampshire at home, and if we're fortunate enough to get a victory, we'll be able to play then on Wednesday, and then we'll see what happens from there. Washington has a good club, and we'll have to play well. And if we'd be fortunate enough to be able to win that game, then we would get the day off. So, it comes down that you have to play the game, and you have to get the other team out 21 times, and they have to get you out 21 times if they're going to beat you. So that's what makes it fun. And, if you look throughout our region this year, with the exception of Martinsburg, everybody's, the records are fairly close. So there's a lot of, back and forth. Teams win this day, win that way, and it all comes down to pitching. But when you get to the sectional tournament, hopefully, everybody's going to have their pitching lined up. So, it's going to be interesting.
Focus in on today's game. What's your team need to do to get the win against Martinsburg?
Well, the same as you need to do anytime you play. You need to play well, and just hope you get a few breaks. So, Martinsburg's certainly the dominant program in the area this year. I mean, their record reflects that, and they play well. They got depth of pitching. They score runs. We just have to play well, and hopefully, we've played well at times, played really well at times, and we've had some games where we struggled. So hopefully, maybe tonight might be one of those games we can put it together and we can see what happens.
Lastly, just get whatever thoughts that you want to bring out here about Buzzy Jackson. I know he's being honored during today's game as well.
Buzzy was a guy who loved baseball. He was in our program for 3 years as a player. He was with us for about 20 years as a coach. And his baseball legacy lives on in the Panhandle, even beyond the high school level. He coached at several of the different high schools. He played adult ball. He coached summer league ball. He was in the inaugural class of the National Semi-Pro Hall of Fame. So, he was a lifer for baseball. But most important, Buzzy was a guy who liked to help other people, and he was a good person. And certainly, anytime someone would pass at the early age that he has, it's a sad moment. And may God bless his soul and let him rest in peace. He was a great guy.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck to you and your team today.
Okay, thank you.
Now joined by the head coach of the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Aaron Byler. Coach Byler, before we get into tonight's game, just get your thoughts about you guys getting seated as or voted as the number one team in the region.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy with it. I think we're deserving. I think we, put together a great product of work all year long, and credit to the guys for doing what they needed to every single game to make sure we got that one seed. I mean, people say the regular season is for nothing, but in my mind, you play the regular season to try and get the one seed, so we're happy with it.
Tonight, you guys take on Jefferson in what some would say is a meaningless game because the seeding's already out, but when Tripp talked with you in the last post game, you said, plain and simple, you don't like to lose, so what's your team need to do to stay focused, not get ahead of themselves looking at next week, and get the win tonight against Jefferson, a big rival?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's meaningless as far as, the EPAC's wrapped up and the one seed's wrapped up, but I think it's important to keep momentum, going forward. I think it's important to go out here and play well, and, anytime Martinsburg and Jefferson meet up, it's always fun, and you never want to lose that one.
And then lastly, before we wrap things up, just get your thoughts on Buzzy Jackson, a lifelong community member and a former coach with you guys.
Nobody I've met more in my life that loved the game of baseball more than Buzzy Jackson, and loved teaching it, loved being around it, loved working on the field, loved the kids. I'm grateful for him for everything that he taught me in the 6 years that he was here with us, and I hope that we can honor him tonight to the best of our ability.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you, Colin.
That was our coaches' interviews brought to you by Parsons Ford there, so now that we are back, we'll send it over to the public address announcer for tonight's ceremony to honor Martin Buzzy Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's games begins with a tribute to Coach Buzzy Jackson, a cherished figure on our team, school, and community. Coach Jackson, a leader and a friend, left an unforgettable mark on us all. His coaching went beyond the game, shaping us with values of dedication and sportsmanship for 15 years at Jefferson High School, 4 years at Washington High School, and 6 years at Martinsburg. His influence was unmeasurable. As a player, Coach Buzzy Jackson played college ball at Francis Marion. Afterward, he helped start up the Jefferson Pirates and had stints with the Hagerstown Braves, the Martinsburg Blue Sox, and the Brunswick Orioles. Coach Buzzy Jackson also was a member of the 2004 NAFB National Championship team and was inducted into the National Semi-Professional Baseball Hall of Fame in 2011. Tonight, we honor his memory as we compete, carrying his spirit with us. Let's play with the same passion he showed every day, ensuring his legacy lives on. At this time, please direct your attention to the field as Coach Lowry and Coach Byler have a few words to share.
First, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to honor Buzzy. I want to thank his family for being here in his honor. I want to thank Jefferson High School and Coach Lowry for agreeing to talk tonight. I think we all could tell countless stories about Buzzy, but we have a baseball game to play. And I can assure you that there was nobody that loved the game of baseball more than Buzzy Jackson, so he would want that game to get started as quick as possible. I'm going to share with you 2 stories with my time with Buzz. Buzzy went with us 2 years ago to Myrtle Beach. He was acted as our pitching coach while he was down there, and we played High Point Christian Academy, who I think was one of the best teams coming in down there. We had a young man named Carson Buber on the mound. He was a sophomore. Buzzy and I went over the High Point scouting report that night, talked about what we needed to do, what hitters we needed to do what with. Carson went to the bullpen that day, nervous as a sophomore would be. Carson just so happens to be the starting pitcher tonight. Buzzy took him under his wing, and I don't think they talked about anything baseball related for that entire 15-minute bullpen. Buzzy just told stories as only Buzzy could. Needless to say, we went through that game. Carson threw a 2-hitter, and we won 2-1. After the game, Buzzy and I are sitting there talking, and I talked about what a great job he did with the pitches that he called and how he kept hitters off balance. And Buzzy looked at me, and he laughed. He said, "Coach, I didn't call a damn pitch." I think that just speaks of the confidence that Buzzy had in these kids, how much he believed in them, how much he loved them, how much he would do anything for them. I'm going to tell you one more story. The story just talks about the type of guy that Buzzy was. He'd give you the shirt off his back, or the hat off his head in this case. Our new hats come in every year. When I went to give Buzzy one, he said, "Hang on a second, Coach. Let me look at mine. I think it's all right." He brings it to me, and he says, "Coach, I think mine's good. What do you think?" He said, "Why don't you give that hat to one of the other kids?" Logan, would you run me out Buzzy's hat that he wanted to, thought was good that day? I don't know if you can see it, but it's covered in all kinds of dirt, mud, and pine tar. But that's, again, that just speaks for who Buzzy was. Thank you, Lou. And how much he cared about kids, how much he loved the game of baseball. I know I'm better for meeting. Baseball has a way of bringing people together, and I know that I'm greater because Buzzy Jackson was in my life. Thank you.
I think the intro and Coach's comments say it all about Buzzy, but there are things that I would like to add as well. You know, I knew Buzzy coming up. He used to come to baseball camps that we would have. He played for us from 1983 through 1985. And actually, he coached with us for about 20 years. And his legacy not only is in Jefferson County, but it spreads throughout the Panhandle, as Coach alluded to. He loved baseball, without question. But I think the most important thing about Buzzy was his willingness to always to help others. Coach shared a story or two about Buzzy. I'd like to share a story or two about Buzzy as well. Number one, he lived 3 doors down from me. And in 2013, I had the misfortune, I guess you might say, of my house burning down. And Buzzy was the one that called and told me. He says, "Coach, your house is on fire." And I said, "Buzzy," I said, "how bad is it?" He says, "Well, the flames are coming through the roof." And I said, "Well, I guess it's pretty bad, isn't it, Buzzy?" But after that happened and the house was destroyed, he, along with others, were there to help me get things back in order, to try to clear things out, A number of people that are over here tonight were there to help. But Buzzy took a hand in being in contact with people to help me get my situation resolved, and I'll always appreciate that. Going back a little further to when he was in high school, when he was going into his senior year, there was a scout in the Hagerstown area. I don't know if y'all knew him or not. I remember his name, Gene Kearns. He coached at Hagerstown Junior College, which is where Buzzy pitched before he went down to Francis Marion. And in the fall, Gene would let him come over and work out with the Hagerstown Junior College team. And unbeknownst to me at the time, he would take Buzzy on their trips on the weekend. And back then, junior colleges used to scrimmage against the four-year schools, in the fall. Well, Buzzy would go before he even reached his senior year in high school, and he was getting to pitch against Penn State, schools of that nature. He loved baseball. He was involved. He was involved even after this past year at 50 years old, I think, pitching in the 50-year and plus league. And it was alluded to that he was named in the Hall of Fame, the National Semi-Pro Hall of Fame in 2011. What makes that even more significant is that was the inaugural class of that Hall of Fame. A great guy. May God bless his soul, and may he rest in peace.
In recognition of Coach Buzzy Jackson's dedication to both programs and in support of those who mourn his loss, let us observe a moment of silence. During this time, I invite you to reflect quietly on the memories we hold dear and the impact they have had on our lives. Thank you, Coach Jackson, for everything. You will greatly be missed.
We now resume our Skinner Law Firm pre-game show after that very emotional and touching ceremony to honor Buzzy Jackson trip. I know you knew him as well for a long time. I'll hand it over to you, and if you want to share any words.
Buzzy, he was he was a player's coach, no doubt, as Coach Baller alluded to. He knew ways to inspire young men, but he also inspired us. He worked hard on the field. Coaching wasn't just coming out here and flipping the bucket over for him. It was throwing bullpens. It was it was kids being with the kids. They threw bullpens. It was him throwing batting practice, and and he wore lots of colors here. He wore Washington colors, Jefferson colors, Martinsburg colors. He played, for the over 50 league. He played for the Blue Sox. He just there wasn't a day that went by that he didn't think and live baseball. And it was just a tremendous thing. I remember. When our kids were coming up, and he was helping in the fall in the summer leagues. He would just throw his hat in there, umpiring $40, $50, $60 in the heat of the summer, 80, 90 degrees, and he would walk over and he would umpire the game, but he would also help the kids and give pointers and come over and tell each coach a pointer or two about a player, and he added a little bit of humor to it, of course. So there's never been a player that played for him or against him that didn't enjoy Buzzy. There's never been a coach that coached with him that didn't enjoy Buzzy, and his intensity wasn't in anger or getting ejected or getting thrown out of the game, or his intensity was in playing the game the right way. He's just a class act in so many ways, and we're going to miss him so much. And in so many ways, he would come out. He had umpired American Legion baseball scrimmage games for us. He would come out. I mean, who does that? Who comes out in July or June when it's 100 degrees on the field and just says, I'll umpire for you. So it's going to be a tremendous loss and just a great time. I'm glad we got an opportunity to honor him tonight.
Both teams' coaches shake hands with the umpires, exchange lineup cards, and head back to their dugouts. We'll continue and get right into tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. We'll start off with the visitors, the Jefferson Cougars, leading off for Jefferson. And in left field, number 9, Cole Lewis, batting second, the designated hitter, number 27, Riley Morgan. He's DHing for the shortstop, 9, Dominguez, wearing number 47 in the maroon. Batting third at first base, number 31, Surf Guerra. Batting fourth at third base, number 11, Alex Danner. Batting fifth and playing in right field, number 22, Brady Roberts. Batting sixth and doing the pitching for Jefferson, number 1, Jet Gross. Batting seventh and catching, number 3, Cole Smith. Batting eighth at second base, number 7, Ty Vickers. And batting ninth for Jefferson and playing in center field, number 2, Sam Hefner. Now for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, leading things off for Martinsburg, the second baseman, number 2, Keegan Everhart. Batting second and pitching, number 5, Carson Buber. Batting third at shortstop, number 24, Braden Oviedo. Batting fourth in right field, number 7, Christian Alter. Batting fifth, playing third base, number 8, Ben Reisenweber. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 3, Owen Rupenthal. He'll be DHing for the center fielder, number 6, Logan Wilt. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 20, Braden Edwards. Batting eighth, first baseman, number 27, Jameer Brown. Batting ninth in left field, number 23, Jackson Steen. That's your starting lineups, brought to you by Trips Flooring. We'll now get our EPAC Baseball Roundup, brought to you by Rock's Local Markets, with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's fast, fresh, and friendly. Only one other baseball game going on today, and that is Frankfort at Hedgesville. So that is your EPAC Baseball Roundup. We'll now get today's weather, brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships. Proud to be the owners who just care more. Not going to sugarcoat it. It is hot here at Martinsburg. 83 degrees right now at 7 o'clock. Sunny skies. Heat index makes it feel just like 83, so no change there, but probably still a change down on the field with the turf infield. Martinsburg wearing the all-black uniforms. We'll see how that goes for Jefferson. The maroon hats, maroon jerseys, and the gray away pants. Upside take a 3-minute break. Make it a 3-minute break back at the studio, since we didn't get any other breaks in during this pregame show. On the other side of that 3-minute break, we will have first pitch. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and CV10.
When you're looking for the perfect gift, look no further than L.A. Roberts Jewelers at 146 North Queen Street in downtown Martinsburg. Choose from a huge selection of unique items, from the finest diamonds that make your eyes sparkle to exquisite timepieces, figurines, and collectibles. Buying from L.A. Roberts Jewelers means that you've made the decision to do business with people who've excelled in the industry for more than 100 years. They'll be here tomorrow when you need them, and if you need your jewelry or your watch repaired, they'll do that too. L.A. Roberts in downtown Martinsburg. Old World Jewelers for a new age. From breathtaking outdoors to unique local eats, world-class geocaching, and thriving local culture, Martinsburg, Berkeley County, West Virginia is where you can live your adventure. Berkeley County offers fantastic outdoor experiences, from our rugged hiking paths to scenic nature paths, public parks, fishing streams, and nature preserves. Cap off your outdoor adventures with a stroll through historic downtown Martinsburg. Join us and immerse yourself in our rich local history and scenic surroundings. Check out upcoming events and plan your adventure at travelwv.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We're accident, injury, and disability lawyers with over 120 years combined local trial experience. When injury or illness has stopped you from working, you may be eligible for Social Security disability. Ron Harmon has been winning disability claims for over a quarter of a century. Don't hire some out-of-state firm. Ron Harmon's in Martinsburg. He will meet with you right here in our office. Get a local lawyer you can trust. Call 304-LAWYERS for a free consultation. 304-LAWYERS or 304-263-0900.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
For EPAC baseball action on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10, Colin McLaughlin here alongside me is Tripp Tobin. John Alderton is our on-site producer. Dylan Bishop's running the camera. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. Get you tonight's starting battery for the Bulldogs, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. On the mound is the senior Carson Buber, doing the catching, the sophomore Braden Edwards. Buber, I believe 7-0 on the year, trying to go 8-0, and I know, Tripp, you have in your mind the clear favorite for EPAC Player of the Year this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's just an all-around, defensively, offensively, and the numbers he's put up on the mound, I'm not sure there's anyone who could match that the whole body of work. There might be a few guys that have hit a little better average-wise, but he has certainly led this team as a senior and done his job well. When he's not pitching at shortstop, he's hitting the 2 spot all year long and has consistently been on base each game. He's got some reach thrown errors that have affected his batting average a bit, but he has had some hard luck, line outs, things like that. But he definitely, I believe, is one of the, if not the player of the year, and he has to certainly be in the running. And Jefferson's going to have the last time he faced him, I think it was a 7-0 ball game, and he just kind of dominated. So Jefferson gets to see him for the second time tonight. See what they can do here. First pitch, ground to short.
Yep, Cole Lewis grounds out to Oviedo at short. 1 pitch, 1 out. First pitch brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. That'll bring up for the Cougars the designated hitter, number 27, Riley Morgan, up to bat. As our top of the first is brought to you by Brown Funeral Home and Cremation, Robert Fields & Sons, proudly serving our area since 1880. Morgan lets the first pitch go by from Buber. It's low for ball 1 and Tripp. It's nice to see Morgan back in the lineup for Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, this young man, last year, he was a tremendous starting pitcher, junior. This year coming back, had surgery on that elbow. I thought it might have been Tommy John, but and I may don't take this as complete facts, but pretty sure he had that surgery where the nerves kind of moved, and it was so he was able to get back on the field sooner than they thought. And he's been a big factor in Jefferson's late surge here. He grounds out to third.
Yep. Morgan on the 2-0 pitch sends a slow grounder down the third base line, and it's scooped up by Ben Reisenweber, thrown across the diamond to first at Jameer Brown. 2 up, 2 down to start off this top of the first for Jefferson is now the freshman Surf Guerra up the bat. We know he has some power in his bat from his Little League days.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that power can show against a experienced senior in Carson Buber as he grounds this first pitch foul down the third baseline. Count 0-1 to Surf.
The last time they played each other, they got to see a lot, 7 innings of Carson Buber down at Jefferson, and right now it looks like the approach is to attack early. They've swung early. It's the second batter swing at the very first pitch they saw, and Carson Buber hasn't just relied on the fastball here early. He's throwing different pitches.
Next pitch misses outside to Guerra. Count now 1-1.
You see Buber continually to kind of keep that hand a little moist, kind of he drives it back off. He was looking for some rosin back there earlier. First time they've really had to play in a very hot, sweaty environment.
1-1 pitch to Surf Guerra, low. Count now 2-1.
Surf just a freshman. We're going to see 3 more years of this. I think he leads the team in home runs, and I'm not sure if he has how many he has. You might have that stat, but plenty of home runs.
Try to pull it up as he grounds this one down the third base line, and it goes foul. Count now 2-2 to Surf.
I think he's at 4 or 5 at least. Maybe more, but I would think that he leads the EPAC as a freshman.
We know during his days
in that category.
In Little League, it almost seemed like each time he went up the bat, it was a home run, and you are correct. He has 4 home runs this year, 34 RBIs for this Jefferson team. So seeing a freshman in the 3 spot just shows a lot about his growth early. It's the 2-2 pitch up and in. The count now 3-2.
And over the weekend, he got a home run in the Cooperstown. In Cooperstown, in the park up there, the legendary Cooperstown Park at Doubleday.
Yeah, they make that yearly trip up there as 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Buber popped up. Foul territory, staying in the infield over towards the Jefferson dugout. The first baseman, Jameer Brown, looks up, makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down goes Jefferson here. The top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first on the other side of this 1-minute break. It's Jefferson 0, Martinsburg 0. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Trump's plan to stop woke gender ideology from poisoning our kids?
We'll investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks that participate in sex transitions of minor children.
And Big Pharma's lobbyists should be held accountable too, like Pat Morrissey. As a D.C. lobbyist, Morrissey helped steer taxpayer funds to a gender transition clinic for children and got rich lobbying for a drug company peddling puberty blockers. Morrissey's family still owns the D.C. firm that lobbies for a child transition provider with a clinic in West Virginia. Pro-trans liberal lobbyist. That's Pat Morrissey. The pro-Trump conservative businessman, Chris Miller. Miller supports Trump's plan to protect our kids.
As the father of an 11-year-old girl, you're darn right. I don't want her sharing a locker room with biological males. Woke doctors are literally practicing mutilation, not medicine, and they should be in prison. I'm Chris Miller, and I'll sign that law as governor.
Paid for by Miller for Governor.
We welcome you back. Bottom of the first inning brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Visit them at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg or online at orsinis.com. Take a look at the starting battery now for Jefferson. Pitching's number 1, Jet Gross. Doing the catching's number 3, Cole Smith. As they'll face off against Everhart, Buber, Oviedo, the 1-2-3 batters in Martinsburg's lineup as we see the Bulldogs for the first time with the sticks tonight.
Yeah, Jefferson went quietly there early. 3 soft contact is what you like to see as a coach. Pitchers like to throw strikeouts. Coaches like to see some soft ground outs, 1 or 2 counts. Your strikeouts run your pitch count up, and you get later in the game you got to use your bullpen. But when you get some swings on 1 ball, 2 ball counts, then you can get through a game pretty quick and not use up a lot of pitching as Buber got through that inning unscathed and very few pitches.
Everhart swings through the first pitch. It's a pop bump in the shallow infield on the right side. Second baseman Ty Vickers calls off the first baseman Surf Guerra. Just like the top of the first, it's 1 pitch, 1 out to start things off. Now we see Carson Buber step up to the plate. Buber still rocking those yellow gloves, which I say always either looks like kind of gloves that you wear with power tools or gardening. I don't know. Both?
He's got the got those work gloves on. He's going to work. They've become a thing here in baseball where they have those heavier gloves.
This pitch fouled off, so the count no balls and 2 strikes for Buber.
Buber went 1-2-3 in the first inning, 10 pitches, 5 for strikes. And 10-pitch inning is exactly what any pitching coach would ask for. And looks like Jet Gross here is working well.
Buber grounds it, slips when he tried to take off down the baseline, tries to beat out the throw, but unable to do so for out number 2.
If he wouldn't have slipped, he may have beat it. It was close. It was as close as it was. I mean, it kind of a bang play over there. But he did slip coming out of the box and didn't hit the ball real hard. Got it off the handle and got down to Alex Danner. Alex Danner made a nice strong throw across to get the speedy Buber, who tried to hard 90 out of an infield single.
Yep. So the 5-3 ground out will bring up Braden Oviedo for Martinsburg. First pitch from Gross, past Oviedo for strike 1.
Jet and Cole Smith, the battery, are going to be Hornets this year, so you might see this battery in a different color this summer.
Saw that you guys got new uniforms this year, as well as the next pitch taken by Oviedo, 4 strikes, and count 0-2.
We've expanded the schedule. We thought we'd be nice to the mothers and give them a couple extra uniforms. Don't have to wash them every night.
Count 1-2. How many games do you have scheduled so far? Do you know off the top of your head?
Too many. 30.
30, wow.
Or more.
1-2 pitch outside the count, 2-2.
That's a hard question to answer because it's depending how you advance in tournaments.
Right.
If you go all 5 games in 30 plus, if you bow out after 3 or 4, it could go under.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on base. The pitch from Gross to Oviedo misses outside the count, now 3-2.
Gross, like Dunbar we've seen last night, it's just a sophomore, so we're getting to see these young men throw for a couple years, and each year we think, well, we've seen the best, and then another one just steps up. So.
Payoff pitch from Gross. Fastball swung on and missed by Oviedo. So in the bottom of the first, Jefferson, after going 3 up, 3 down at the top of the first, makes the Bulldogs go 3 up, 3 down. So we're still scoreless after 1. We'll head to the second on the other side of this 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Are you at risk for a heart attack or stroke? WVU Medicine would like to remind you it's important to recognize the signs and symptoms so you can seek medical attention fast. The acronym FAST stands for F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, and T, time to call 911. If you are having a stroke, get medical attention right away. Immediate treatment may decrease the risk of disability and prevent death. This important message is brought to you by WVU Medicine.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
We're back here at P.O. Faulkner Park, headed to the top of the second inning, which is brought to you by the Heffley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. Nice place to do business. As Hoover making sure everybody up in the press box is awake. Final warm-up pitch hitting the brick of this press box, shaking us a little bit.
I think he hit the bull with that one. Hit the mascot. Let them know you're just wild enough. You don't want to get digging in the box too good, right? Throw too many strikes, they get confident in there.
Yep. Hoover, 10 pitches in that top of the first, 5 for strikes, 5 for balls. Faces the 4, 5, 6 batters to start off the top of the second. Danner up to bat. Hoover sets the first pitch to Danner. It's called strike 1.
Hoover using his arsenal, throwing curveballs early. First pitch, Jefferson showed the first thing they'll swing early, so not just trying to use a get-me-over fastball against a well-hitting Jefferson team.
Next pitch to Alex Danner from Carson Buber, just outside the count, now 1-1. Roberts on deck. Jet Gross in the hole for Jefferson. Boober's 1-1 delivery, swung on and missed by Danner for strike 2 as he got him to chase.
Danner, also a sophomore. It's probably one of the youngest lineups we've seen from Jefferson in many, many years. When you talk about the 9 guys that started tonight.
Danner fouls this one off, and Edwards unable to snag it for strike 3, so the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. I know last time, Tripp, we saw this Jefferson team, they started 3 freshmen. I don't know if they're doing the same tonight, if you know everybody's classes off the top of your head. I unfortunately do not.
Well, Dominguez starting at short being DH for, and then, of course, Guerra are definitely freshmen.
1-2 pitch, grounded foul down the first base side. So Danner continues to fight.
Cole Lewis is a senior. Riley Morgan, the DH, senior. Surf Guerra, freshman. Alex Danner, sophomore. Brady Roberts, junior. Jet Gross, sophomore. Cole Smith, junior. Ty Vickers and Sam Hefner. Ty's a senior. Sam Hefner, I believe, is a senior as well.
So, 2 freshmen. And there you go. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody on base. The leadoff batter and Alex Danner for the top of the second for Jefferson. The pitch from Buber. Breaking ball. Edwards tried to frame it as best he could, but it goes for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buber sets. Kick in the pitch. Foul ball as Alex Danner check swung and just nicked off his bat over to the first base dugout.
Ball got up. He's reading fastball, and reading. So, he's sitting fastball and trying to adjust.
2-2 pitch, and it's lined right to the second baseman Everhart, and he throws over to first to Jameer Brown for the out. And that was a tough one. It looked like it was going to stay in the air, but Everhart kind of just leaned back, let it bounce into his glove, and it was a tough play to make, but he did it, Tripp.
Yeah, it was hit pretty well. I mean, it was a line drive, like you said, and it short hopped Everhart. Nice play by Everhart to stay with it, as it could have easily got on the heel and got out in the outfield, but stayed with it, knocked it down, and gloved it cleanly, and over to first.
That'll bring up Brady Roberts. First pitch inside for ball 1. Last inning, as we mentioned, Buber only threw 10 pitches. That at bat against Alex Danner, 8.
It was a long at bat. It was good at bat. Quality at bat for Danner and good, solid contact.
1-0 pitch. Called ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes to Roberts. Nobody on base. Top of the second. Still scoreless here between Jefferson and Martinsburg. Next one low. Count now 3-0. It's the final game of the regular season for Martinsburg. I believe Jefferson has one other. That's tomorrow in a doubleheader, actually, against Southern Garrett as the 3-0 called a strike, so count 3-1.
Yeah, Spring Mills has wrapped up. Musselman has wrapped up. Martinsburg will wrap up tonight.
Hedgesville wraps up today, I believe. I think Washington it is that plays tomorrow. There's one team that also plays tomorrow. Is this one swung on and missed? The count 3-2. Washington's at Loudoun County tomorrow. This one called strike 3. First strikeout of the night for Carson Buber against Sammy Roberts for out, Brady Roberts for out number 2.
Younger brother Brady. We said Sammy for a couple years, and then a lot during the football season as well. So great comeback for Carson Buber. 3-0 count. Fought back 3 straight strikes there. Got him looking, so no free bases.
Now up to bat is Jet Gross. He swings through this pitch for strike 1. Now Sammy, one of the quarterbacks at Shepherd as well now, trying to fight for that starting position. Pitch from Buber. Tipped into the glove of Edwards by Gross for strike 2.
Gross wearing those burgundy cleats to match that burgundy uniform with those blocked Jefferson letters across the burgundy shirt in gold, the gray pants, and Martinsburg back in black.
Cougar sets the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts looking. Ends the inning as again Jefferson goes 3 up, 3 down. Led to the bottom of the second, still scoreless at P.O. Faulkner Park between the Bulldogs and the Cougars. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
Welcome back here to P.O. Faulkner Park as we enter bottom of the second inning. Brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Alter, Reisenweber, Rupenthal due up. 4-5-6 batters for Martinsburg against Jet Gross. The first pitch lined into center field and dropping for a leadoff single for Christian Alter to start off the day. And the first hit of the day, actually.
It looks like both of these teams are going to be aggressive tonight, hit early. And anyway, generally two teams that are kind of patient here, but tonight letting it kind of hang out there with the notes that they have and the book they have on these pitchers. They are certainly going after them and swinging early in the counts.
That'll bring up Ben Reisenweber as first we kind of have a timeout here to allow Christian Alter to put on his sliding glove, take off his batting gloves, put them in his back pocket. Reisenweber steps into the right-handed box, squares to bunt, and will foul off the pitch from Gross for strike one. We say it time and time again, and it continues to show. Martinsburg 1 through 9 will bunt if they feel like they need to, or if they can.
Yeah, they like to score every inning. They like to win an inning, and I think you have to get that 0 off the board, and you have to win each inning, and if you do that, you win the ballgame easily. And, so Martinsburg's just trying to crack the code that is Jet Gross, the first inning there, and put pressure on them. They've done a great job of putting down pressure bunts. By that, I mean they sacrifice bunts, but they're well placed, and they have speed, so that creates, that creates pressure on the defense. And when that happens, you throw the ball. When you speed the defense up, chaos ensues at times, and the ball gets thrown around, and that's kind of been Martinsburg's MO. Put pressure on the other team and hope they make mistakes.
See ball go past, throw down to second, looks good. The tag applied, Alter out, caught stealing. Count now for Ben Reisenweber, I believe, will be 2 balls and 1 strike as that pitch was upstairs. Tried to kind of just do a simple pitch out, and it worked for Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly if that's what it was, but certainly it worked. The ball was up. Good job by Cole Smith there to put that ball right on the number, on the target there for Dominguez to make a tag. It was a bang-bang play. Looks like after that, Coach John Lowry is going to come out and talk to Jet Gross. So
yeah, that pitch missed high. Count now 3-1 to Ben Reisenweber as John Lowry making his way out to the mound to talk with the sophomore. See something up on the mound in the young man that feels like needs adjusted here early. And you always see that from Coach Lowry.
Yeah,
it could be the first pitch and he'd go out there.
He's seen something that he wants to tell him, and he's certainly using some hand gestures. Now he gives him a little pat on the back, and we're good to go. But Yeah, Coach Lowry, like you see most pitching coaches go out after a pitcher struggles or base runners or setting up a defense at the same time, but this is just a 3-1 count with one out, nobody on base after a caught stealing, and he comes out. So something that he wasn't happy with, and it was certainly just certainly wasn't had nothing to do with taking him out of the game or anything like that, but just try telling him, let's not lose this free base game. Let's not let them, get on base and run and, like holding runners. It's hard to tell what he said, but he was definitely demonstrative a little bit with his hand gestures.
3-1 pitch misses outside for ball 4, so Ben Reisenweber walks his way down to first base. So one out runner on first. Designated hitter Owen Rubenthal up the bat now for Martinsburg. The pitch from Gross. Called strike 1.
Rubenthal the home grand slam against Smithsburg, adding to his home run total, so he's got multiples. And Martinsburg now has 2 grand slams on the year with Edwards and Rubenthal.
This pitch low and away, the count 1-1. Owen lefty for Martinsburg. Reisenweber takes his lead over at first. Pitch from Gross. Popped on the third base side in foul territory over the Martinsburg dugout and out of play for strike 2.
We've seen Gross at times short start. He's came in, maybe struggled a little bit, or defense struggled behind him, and the guys were down a couple runs, and next thing you know, they were quick to go to the bullpen. So getting a fly over.
Yeah, 2 helicopters flying overhead as a pickoff attempt over to first base, unsuccessful. Sliding in safely was Ben Reisenweber.
You don't see 2 helicopters in line very often.
No, you do not. Gross steps back on the rubber, looks over at first, fires the pitch, and swung on and missed by Rubenthal for strike 3. And out number 2 in the bottom of the second strikeout of the night for Jet Gross.
Because of the caught stealing, the leadoff base hit, then the walk still has Martinsburg with a man on first and 2 outs instead of first and second with 1 out.
Catcher Braden Edwards now up the bat for Martinsburg, another lefty in the lineup.
Lefty on lefty.
Pickoff attempt. Safe is Reisenweber.
Reisenweber probably one of the best, if not the best, base runner on the team. Instinctively runs well and has speed.
This is a hard ground ball up the middle and through for a single, the second single here in the bottom of the second for Martinsburg. Puts runners at first and second. That'll bring up the sophomore Jameer Brown.
Martinsburg starting to find the hole there a little bit. We're going to see Braden Miller going to courtesy run for the catcher. So you have men on first and second, 2 outs.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, first baseman, number 27, Jameer Brown.
Jameer Brown taking his time before stepping up to the plate.
Dave Boyd out in the outfield, who's struggling a little bit there with some hip pain, and but still out there giving it his all. And Jeff King behind the plate, 2 of the best in the business.
Pitch from Gross kind of slipped there as it's high and outside for ball 1 to Brown. Martinsburg trying to get 2-out rally here in a scoreless game. So we're in the bottom of the second with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Brown fouls this pitch off the end of the bat. Out of play on the right-hand side. Count 1-1.
Martinsburg has two players over there in shorts, and Isaac Grove and Parker Robinson both ruled out for today. So has Steen in the outfield with Wilt.
1-1 pitch. Brown lets go by, and it's strike 2 from Jet Gross. Gross ready to go. Looks behind him at the runner. Will now step off the rubber, trying to get the runner back. Timeout called as Cole Smith, the catcher, is going to go out and talk with Jet Gross, the pitcher, and I think it might just be making sure the communication between them solid on what pitch, and with the runner on second, maybe having to change the numbers around a little bit.
Yep, that's a good call. get a guy on second, first time of the game, you need to go out and make sure that you're on sync for, runners on, as the signals will change up at that point.
1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Jameer Brown gets caught looking to end the inning. So even though Martinsburg gets the 2 first hits of the game, one got caught stealing. They had a free base as well. Those 2 get stranded on base. So at the end of 2, still 0-0 between Jefferson and Martinsburg. Step aside, take another 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I'm J.B. McCuskey, candidate for Attorney General. I've been a Mountaineer my whole life, and we know Mountaineers are always free. But that freedom is under attack. Woke activists want to defund our police, strip away our rights, and destroy our way of life. As West Virginia's Attorney General, I won't let that happen. I'll back the blue, defend the Second Amendment, and protect our right to frack, mine, farm, and timber. I'm J.B. McCuskey. As Attorney General, I'll fight for West Virginia. I'll hold politicians accountable, end federal overreach, and crush the woke mob. I'm J.B. McCuskey. Woke activists mistreat and look down on us, but as your Attorney General, I'll fight for West Virginia values and keep the Mountain State free.
Paid for by J.B. McCuskey for West Virginia Attorney General, P.O. Box 11359, Charleston, West Virginia 25361.
We welcome you back here as we head to inning number 3. Top of our third innings, brought to you by the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing, as nobody put a run up on the scoreboard yet here between Jefferson and Martinsburg. Jefferson up to bat, the 7-8-9 batter, Smith, Vickers, Hefner, trying to change that against Carson Buber. So far, it's forced Jefferson in the first 2 innings to go 3 up, 3 down.
Yep, 6 batters have come to the plate for Jefferson in 2 innings. 8 batters came to the plate for Martinsburg in 2 innings. So at this point, the 2 pitchers are battling it out, waiting for their offenses to give them some run support, keeping their teams in the game.
First pitch to Smith, called strike 1. The next one from Buber. Tried to get him to chase, and it's outside for a ball. Smith held that bat back. 1 ball, 1 strike to the catcher, Cole Smith. This Buber sets. The righty fires it down, and it's strike 2.
That pitch there would be tough to hit for anybody. The ball's just a fastball down in the zone at the knees, and just a really tough pitch to handle for anyone.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch called strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts now, all looking for Carson Buber.
Carson definitely has that little slider there working, looks like, and freezing those batters up. So just doing a great job so far of keeping Jefferson off the bases.
Ty Vickers now up the bat for Jefferson. Pitch from Buber. Grounded to the right side. Running in is Keegan Everhart, the second baseman. His throw to Brown at first gets Vickers for out number 2 on 1 pitch. Now it'll bring up Sam Hefner.
Now batting center fielder number 2, Sam Hefner.
Jefferson again tries to avoid going 3 up, 3 down in another inning. Pitch from Buber to Hefner. Just missed for a ball.
Some oohs and ahs from the press box on whether or not that was a strike.
This one is a strike as it swung on and missed by Hefner. The count now 1-1. Can't dispute that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. Top of the third, pitch. Rounded foul over to the Martinsburg dugout. The count now 1-2 to Hefner. So Carson Buber at 27 pitches entering this inning. Looks like This will be either pitch 35 or 36, if I'm doing my counting correctly. 1-2. Grounded down the third base line. It's a soft grounder. Reisenweber picks it up, throws across the diamond, and Jefferson goes 3 up, 3 down again. So we'll head to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless here at P.O. Faulkner Park between Jefferson and Martinsburg. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Trump's plan to stop woke gender ideology from poisoning our kids?
We'll investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks that participate in sex transitions of minor children.
And Big Pharma's lobbyists should be held accountable too, like Pat Morrissey. As a D.C. lobbyist, Morrissey helped steer taxpayer funds to a gender transition clinic for children and got rich lobbying for a drug company peddling puberty blockers. Morrissey's family still owns the D.C. firm that lobbies for a child transition provider with a clinic in West Virginia. Pro-trans liberal lobbyist. That's Pat Morrissey. The pro-Trump conservative businessman, Chris Miller. Miller supports Trump's plan to protect our kids.
As the father of an 11-year-old girl, you're darn right. I don't want her sharing a locker room with biological males. Woke doctors are literally practicing mutilation, not medicine, and they should be in prison. I'm Chris Miller, and I'll sign that law as governor.
Paid for by Miller for Governor.
Back here, bottom of the third inning we go. This is brought to you by the team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state area, they have you covered. 9-1-2 batters due up for Martinsburg. Jackson Steen, Keegan Everhart, Carson Buber. Steen, the lefty, up against Gross. Lets the first pitch go by, and it's ball 1.
Yeah, the depth of Martinsburg has 2 outfielders not dressed tonight in Grove and Parker Robinson, but yet they still were able to put a quality outfield out there with Steen in left and Wild in center and Alter in right. So showing their depth not only on the pitching mound, we talk about their pitching depth, but having some depth on that bench.
Count now 2-0. This pitch high for ball 3, so count 3-0.
Gross would like to have had that one, as it looked like it might have got the top of the zone, but didn't get the call for 3-0 as he a little bit of a disgust.
As the 3-0 called strike 1, so the count 3-1. We'll see if the sophomore Jet Gross out on the mound can battle back after having the count go 3-0 against 9th batter in the lineup for Martinsburg and Steen. They'll foul this one over and into the Jefferson dugout off a few hands. Count 3-2.
Yeah, it's not what you want to do. It's a nothing ball game in the third inning is, take the number 9 hitter and give him a, 4 or 5 pitch walk. So nice job here to work it back to 3-2, but don't want to lose him. Martinsburg would love to get their leadoff batter on and get back to the top.
3-2, blooped into left field, and it's going to hang up in the air and be caught by Cole Lewis for out number 1.
I think he was going to drop it first, but it just kind of hung. So after starting off 3-0, nice job by Jet to come back, and Jet Gross to come back and throw 3 strikes there and force Steen to put the ball in play, give his defense a chance, not giving up any free bases.
Keegan Everhart up to bat. Throw for 1 today. Pitch from Jet Gross. Misses for ball 1 to Everhart. Everhart on the 1 pitch that he saw already, popped it up to the second baseman. 1-0 pitch. Low for ball 2.
Martinsburg Jet Gross doing a nice job of working quickly, and just trying to keep the momentum, in the favor of Jefferson. As long as it's 0-0 and Martinsburg is the number 1 team in the state, that creates you being the underdog, keeps the pressure on Martinsburg, and so he's doing a good job of just keeping that momentum in check and keeping Martinsburg tight.
2-1 pitch. Line drive to the shortstop 9, Dominguez. He dives for it and makes the catch for out number 2.
Top 10 play there by the freshman Dominguez as he left his feet. When that ball left the bat, it looked like a sure single up the middle, but he closed the ground on that quickly and was able to take that thing off the turf and field it in the air for a line out to the shortstop. Flashing a little
Dominguez
glove.
steals a base hit for out number 2, keeps the bases empty as Carson Buber steps up to bat. Pitch from Gross, fouled for strike 1, almost through our hole in the net. Kind of got Dylan to be ready to punch it back his stance. It's an interesting approach to take with a foul ball. See if it pays off for him. 1 pitch called strike 2 to Buber from Gross.
He was going to give it the chop.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gross sets. Pitch. Tipped into the glove of Cole Smith for the strikeout as 3 up, 3 down goes Martinsburg. Still nothing between Jefferson and Martinsburg. We'll head to the 4th after this 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
The Classical Christian Academy at Bethel is helping create extraordinary futures.
So we've seen improvements in our boys on the, as I said, arithmetic, reading and writing.
I worked in the county, I worked in public school, and that's what I knew. And I knew I wanted to be able to give her more. So I would recommend this to anyone.
You know, our daughter has thrived here. The family-like environment is exactly what she needed.
The Classical Christian Academy at Bethel in Martinsburg, equipping children to lead lives of significant impact.
Walking here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me is Trib Tobin. Our on-site producer is John Alderton. Cameraman's Dylan Bishop. Back at the studio, Nick Verzolini. As our top of the 4th is brought to you by Farmers and Mechanics Insurance. Reliable coverage since 1877. Call them at 304-263-0809 for a quote today, or visit fmiwv.com.
Jefferson's going top of the orders, coming back up here in the 4th inning. The second time through the lineup to see Carson Buber. Carson Buber and Jet Gross locked up in a pitching duel here. Both have thrown struck out. Jet struck out 3 in 3 innings at 38 pitches. Jet struck out 4. Carson Buber in 3 innings of work struck out 3 at 36 pitches. So it's pretty much matched pitch for pitch here as we move through the game.
First pitch from Buber to Lewis, low for ball 1 to start off this 4th inning.
Both teams getting some good defense. The line out to Dominguez and the short hop line out to Keegan Everhart has given both pitchers some defense behind them. And the caught stealing prevented an inning that could have gotten Martinsburg on the board as they put the first 2 batters on base, but one was cut down, caught stealing.
Next pitch fouled into the backstop. The count 1-1 to Lewis as the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball that Lewis holds the bat back away from, so the count now 2-1.
It had a lot of cut to it. That curveball actually got off Edwards' gloves. He was trying to do his best job to frame it there with nobody on.
2-1 pitch. Lined into right center field, and it's down for a base hit by Lewis, and that's going to roll to the wall. Lewis, round second. He's looking for 3. The throw cut off by Oviedo. Not in time to rise, and Weber at third, and it's a leadoff triple for Cole Lewis to start off the top of the 4th for Jefferson.
Yeah, that ball got in the gap. Looked like, it wasn't bad angles by the outfielder. It's just when it hit the ground, it had spin on it, and it kicked back to the right and jumped off that grass out there in the outfield and found the fence for triple here, as Jefferson is the first to put someone batter on third base here.
And that's with Jefferson's first hit of the night. It's the pitch from Buber. The Morgan misses for ball 1.
Morgan's arguably been one of Jefferson's best average hitters on the team here, as he's been pitching in DHing the last couple of weeks since coming back to the pitcher's mound.
He'll foul this one off over the netting on the first base side. The count 1-1. Good to go from being hitless to having your first hit put a runner 90 feet away from getting the lead. Something that I think Jefferson can be happy with here against the number 1 team in the state. Pitch from Buber. Misses for a ball. The count 2-1 to Morgan.
Ball up a little bit there.
Morgan grounded out to third. His only time up so far is this pitch from Buber low. The count 3-1. You got Surf Guerra on deck for Jefferson, who has 4 home runs this season. And only a freshman for the Cougars. His 3-1 pitch inside for ball 4. As Buber, after issuing his first hit, gives up his first base on balls to Jefferson, putting runners on the corners with nobody out in the top of the 4th.
Carden Zarnicki's going to call a timeout and talk to Buber a little bit as he's a little frustrated. The first part of this 4th inning. Buber's still throwing a tremendous game, a one-hitter. And Buber's very detail-oriented, loves to be near perfect, if not perfect. So at this point, he just needs to be told, hey, it's only the 4th inning, you're throwing a tremendous ball game. And it's baseball. Guys are going to get on. The guys are going to hit the baseball. A perfect game is a rarity at this level and at any level, really. Just needs to show some grit here and just fight his way out of it, minimize the damage. And if we can get out of this inning with a run, just one run, that's got to be a plus.
We'll resume action. Runners on the corners, nobody out. The first pitch to Surf Guerra swung through by Surf from Buber for strike 1.
Jameer Brown's holding. Middle infield's back in double play depth. And looks like Ben Rasmuber's about even with the bag, not expecting any bunts.
A 1 pitch. Outside. Count now 1-1 to Surf Guerra.
Martinsburg willing to give up the run for the double play based on the defense that they have out there.
Buber sets the 1-1 pitch. Grounded right back up the middle. Oviedo scoops it, steps on the bag for 1, over to first for 2. So 6-3 double play. A runner from third and Lewis comes home to score to give Jefferson a 1-0 lead.
Now batting number 11, Alex Danner.
It's Alex Danner now up the bat. 2 out, nobody on.
Got the perfect ground ball to turn the double play and clear the bases, clean slate, and start over here.
Pitch grounded down the third baseline and fair. Scooped up by Reisenweber. Long throw across the first in time for the out. So Martinsburg, after no outs, runners on the corners, are able to only give up 1 run in the inning, but Jefferson does take a 1-0 lead. We'll see what the Bulldogs can do on the other side of this 1-minute break in the bottom of the 4th. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My name is Chris Glover, and I am running for Family Court Judge. If being a successful Family Court Judge means continuing the antagonistic, combative, contested, traditional litigation that we see today in family court, then I hope to be a complete failure, because I want a family court that's child-centered, that's future-focused, and that brings families together in reconciliation. And reconciliation could be reunification of the family and or healthy co-parenting. I often have couples that will reconcile and completely dismiss their cases because, we've provided them with wraparound services to help them. I am self-funded because my faith teaches me the judicial attributes of independence, impartiality, integrity. When I preserve a family and I make a lot less money as a lawyer, that makes me happy. That's a success for me.
Paid for by Chris Glover for Family Court Judge.
We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning, which is brought to you by Mother Shucker's Crab Shack, located at 1014 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. If you don't like it, shuck it up, Buttercup. Braden Oviedo will lead things off for Martinsburg as the pitch from Jet Gross high to Oviedo for ball 1. It's the 3-4-5 batters, Oviedo, Alter, Reisenweber, due up in the bottom of the 4th for Martinsburg, who trails Jefferson 1-0. This pitch inside for ball 2.
Martinsburg, after being down, here comes Coach John Lowry for a visit. So Martinsburg, after being after getting down a run, now you start to see some life out of that dugout over there as you hear them cheering as they're, wanting a response after giving up that run. Martinsburg's been a team that hasn't really gone away when they've been down. They've found ways to come back and make games, get victories in games that they were down, a couple of times they were down multiple runs late in the game and were able to continue to fight. And it seems like sometimes they need a run or two to wake them up and see if Jack Gross can keep that from happening here. So he's done a wonderful game. Him and Boober locked into a pitcher's duel here.
This game count for overall records, but will not change playoff seeding as this pitch to Oviedo from Gross misses outside. The count 3-0. We learned a few days ago what the region seeding is for sections 1 and 2 after the vote had to be turned in Tuesday as it's a 4-pitch walk to Oviedo to bring up Christian Alter. I'll go through the region here for you quickly. The 1 seed, of course, being the number 1 team in the state, the Martinsburg Bulldogs. 2nd, Washington. 3rd, Jefferson. 4th, Musselman. 5th, Hedgesville. 6th, Spring Mills. 7th is Hampshire. So in Section 1, it will be Martinsburg against Spring Mills at Martinsburg on Tuesday. Hedgesville at Musselman on Tuesday. Then Jefferson in Section 2 will host Hampshire. Washington has a bye. It's the pitch to Alter. He squares around a bunt, misses it for strike 1. We'll have coverage on Tuesday night of the Martinsburg Spring Mills game. First pitch at 7 p.m. as the pitch from Gross fouled off by Alter for strike 2 as he gets the green light to swing and fouled it over the net to our right.
One thing about starting a left-hander against Martinsburg here, even though he's a sophomore, he's done great, but what he does is he slows the running game down. Martinsburg loves to run. Can't get quite the jump you can on right-handers.
And this time, Alter hits it opposite field down the first base side all the way to the wall. Oviedo hustling his way around third, and he's going to be held up as the cutoff, though, was over towards second base. So Alter has a double, nobody out, 2 runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the 4th for Martinsburg.
Yeah, the ball was hit well by Alter. Got down there, got against that Coach Cooper sign there at the 3:05 mark, and it got out there quickly. Raleigh Morgan with the cannon out there, one of the stronger arms in the EPAC. Nobody out. Got the cut in there pretty quick, and the golden rule of baseball is you don't want to make the first out there at the plate. So right now, nobody out, no reason to take a big chance here as they have the first 2 runners on here at 2nd and 3rd. Base hit away from taking the lead.
Up the bat is Ben Reisenweber. First pitch from Gross misses for ball 1. Gross stares down at his catcher, Cole Smith. Now sets. Pitch misses for ball 2 to Reisenweber.
Jefferson opting to play straight up, just staying back and not willing. You have the third baseman, Danner, up on what would be the grass. The rest of the infielders are back, giving up a ground ball RBI to Ben Reisenweber. Should he get it on the ground?
Reisenweber pops this one up in foul territory. The count 2-1 as it goes over into the stands. 2 balls, 1 strike to Reisenweber.
Jefferson not bringing the defense up again.
2-1 pitch. Just getting a piece of it is Ben. It's tipped into the catcher's glove for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
In a very clean game. A couple extra base hits from each team is the only excitement.
2-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3, out number 1. Ben Reisenweber frustrated with that. He slams his bat down afterwards, but Owen Rupenthal comes up to bat now for the Bulldogs. Runners on 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. 1-0 Jefferson leads Martinsburg in the bottom of the 4th.
All Rupenthal has to do is pull a ground ball to the left side, to the right side, as the defense again remains back.
The pitch misses low and away for ball 1 from Gross.
Reisenweber missed an opportunity for an easy RBI as he struck out.
And he sends this one into left field. Backtracking's Lewis, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Tagging up is Oviedo from third, and he'll jog his way home to tie things up at 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Sac fly RBI to left by Owen Rubenthal. Makes it a 1-1 ball game. Alter stays put at second. Braden Edwards up to bat.
Rubenthal taking advantage of that situation, getting himself the easy RBI. And Edwards, a guy who got a base up the middle the last time. Speed on second base should the ball, catch the ground, hit into the outfield. Look for Alter to make the turnaround third and come home on anything that would get to the outfield.
Pitch to Edwards inside for ball 1.
Edwards caught Jet a lot last summer, so he should be pretty, know what he has. The familiarity factor, but each year both these young men get better. Jet, on the other hand, knows what Braden can do with the bats. Seeing him, have a great offensive summer as well as they played together. So familiarity factor is there, but
pick off over to second and sliding in safely is Alters. That was very close to Dominguez getting the tag in time.
Yeah, well executed. Spin move there, quick move, and Dominguez got there, got in behind Alter, but Alter did a great job of getting back.
2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss from Edwards for a strike as he wanted to send that one in the parking lot and give Martinsburg the lead.
That was a 2-0 cut. As a coach, you like to see that. You like to see him be on the attack mode, and you're not mad at all when they do that.
He'll hit a hard grounder for the 2-1 pitch over to the second baseman, Ty Vickers, and he'll toss it to Surf Guerra for out number 3. But Martinsburg able to respond with a run of its own to tie things up at 1-1. So we'll head to the 5th. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV10.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
Mother Shuckers, the only place to get your fill of Bay Delights in Martinsburg. Located at 1014 Winchester Avenue, Mother Shuckers has everything you crave, from crabs to crab legs. Specialty soups, chowder that will fill your belly and heart with goodness. Mother Shuckers, we give a shuck on how well you eat. Mother Shuckers, we give a shuck. If you don't like it, shuck it up, Buttercup.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park as both teams tack on a run each in the 4th, making it a 1-1 ball game between Jefferson and Martinsburg. Led to the top of the 5th, which is brought to you by L.A. Roberts Jewelers, committed to excellence in quality design and craftsmanship, located at 146 North Queen Street in Martinsburg. Roberts Gross Smith, 5'6", 7" batters, be due up here in the top of the 5th for Jefferson as looks like Carson Buber still out on the mound for Martinsburg, going strong.
Yeah, Buber's numbers after 4 complete. Although this game changer keeps locking up. So I can't give them to you, but everything's in a delay at the moment. This looks like Hedgesville's losing 7-1 to Frankfort.
I can try to get it. He's only given up the 1 run, a 1 hit, a walk, struck out 3 on 49 pitches. Pitch number 50 is low to Brady Roberts for ball 1 to start off this 5th inning.
Roberts struck out the last time after going up 3-0 in the count. Took next 3 strikes.
This one is a strike, so count 1-1.
Jefferson's got someone working in the bullpen.
Looks
like Cole Lewis, yeah. The man who's got the triple under his belt.
1-1 pitch. Buber tried to go with a breaking ball, but it stays up for a ball. Count 2-1 to Roberts. So we'll see if Lewis moves from left to mound as this next pitch misses low. So the count 3-1 to Brady Roberts. Boober steps back on the rubber. Sets. So wind up, pick, and the 3-1 pitch. Called strike 2 as Roberts looks at it. Count now full. Full count. Lead things off in the top of the 5th. Payoff pitch. And it's foul. Roberts trying to play it off, that it hit his hand. And it might have got a piece of it still either way, but it also got the kind of bat handle. So we'll just reset and give him time to shake it off a little bit.
Ball's up and in. Probably had himself a walk there, but he couldn't stay to lay off the high pitch there and just got the knob out there and got in the way. So Martin's Boober the recipient of that.
The 3-2 pitch misses for ball 4. So leadoff walk issued by Boober to Roberts, puts him at first. Bring up Jet Gross.
Now batting number 1, Jet Gross.
Not 100% sure what Martinsburg's thinking here as far as how deep they're going to take Boober. If he was but at this point, doesn't seem to be anyone in the bullpen. Martinsburg throwing Lane DeLauder and Alter against Smithsburg.
Gross squares to bunt. He'll foul it off, and it goes and gets a piece of our home plate umpire, who hopefully is okay.
Yeah, it
immediately
got him.
Dropped down.
It got him pretty good. He's down. Jeff King is down. I rarely see him dramatize anything, but he had definitely got hit, and it knocked the air out of him somehow, some way, wherever it got him at.
So he's going to be helped here. And while that occurs, we'll step aside and let's do a 1-minute break. Back at the studio, Nick. A 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back here to P.O. Faulkner Park. It is Jefferson 1, Martinsburg 1. Top of the 5th inning. Delay here for home plate umpire getting hit with a foul ball from Jet Gross, so giving him some time to fully recover, get him some water, much needed. Trip also much needed water, not as much, but still.
I feel the pain for him. It's.
I think every man does.
I think we'll
just leave it at that. He's being slowly helped up to his feet. Round of applause to a packed crowd here at P.O. Faulkner Park.
It might be a little bit. He's going to have to walk this one off.
Still taking his time behind home plate. Start his way down the third baseline to walk it off. All I know is you don't wish that pain that he's feeling right now on anybody. That's for sure. Not even your worst enemy. Don't wish it upon him. It's evil.
He's going all the way to the dugout to get something there out of his bag, and not sure.
Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me is Trip Tobin, our on-site producers, John Alderton, Dylan Bishop, our cameraman back at the studio, Nick Verzolini. Maybe getting a cup if he wasn't already wearing one.
I think he was wearing one. I just think it got up under in an area that still causes pain and doesn't quite protect. And so definitely knocked the air out of him. We've seen him, just kind of breathing shallow, just trying to get some oxygen there, and he nauseated him a little bit as he looked down. He said he might feel like he may get sick, but he was able to.
Nope, he's good
to get that out. He's coming back out.
Yep, make his way back out. I was almost thinking for a second that over in the third base dugout, as a fan, spectator, Buck Hoffmaster might have to come out of retirement.
Yeah.
Grab the equipment for us. So.
Just having another drink there as he's gathered himself, and
all we got to hope now is that it doesn't happen again.
Hope it never happens to me.
Hope it never happens to any of us. So, everybody getting back into their spots again. It is top of the fifth inning. Jefferson 1, Martinsburg 1. Nobody out for Jefferson. Runner on first is Brady Roberts after he forced a base on balls. Jet Gross, an 0-1 count to him after that foul ball.
He squared the bunt, and it got away. They were going to try some station-to-station ball. I mean, they were going to try to move a runner, play a little station-to-station there, and try to get this lead back. But the bunt got under the bat, went between the legs of Edwards as it skipped down off the foul, and got up under umpire Jeff King, and we had a
Gross squares to bunt again, and this time he misses. It's strike 2.
You wonder if there was a little deja vu in Jeff King's eyes as that ball started through the dirt and he goes down the square.
It'd be like, uh-oh, here we go again. Brace yourself.
0-2 count now. We'll see what Jefferson opts to do if they keep the bunt on. Runner goes.
Runner goes. Pitch outside for a ball. The throw to second. Not in time as Oviedo thought he got the tag in. But stealing second safely is Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts really a lot of speed there. Almost slid through the bag. Actually slid down as he came across the bag. Got into, looks like the ankle or shin of Oviedo. And he's walking that off. So we're going to let Edwards walk out there and give Oviedo a chance to walk that off as he's going to talk to the pitcher. We've had a couple of delays here this inning, but ultimately a base on balls, nobody out, a leadoff walk, nobody out. 2 failed bunt attempts by Jet Gross, and then so Roberts just takes it upon himself to steal that bag. He slid through hard across that turf, and it caused him to get through the bag a little bit and get a molded cleat up into Oviedo's, looks like shin or ankle, but everybody seems no worse for the wear this inning so far, but a few guys have been dinged up.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Jet Gross. Huber on the mound for Martinsburg. Runner on second for Jefferson. 1-2 pitch. Line foul over into the net to the left, keeping the count at 1-2.
Warm evening, barely any wind blowing. Looks like the flags are just laying low, and the sun's going down here as we're playing May baseball.
1-2 pitch, breaking ball, just misses from Buber. The count now 2-2 as he wanted that one for strike 3.
Nice job by Edwards to fold that in there as it started out in the right-handed batter's box. Came back, but just not quite enough.
Buber looks at the runner at second. Kick in the 2-2 pitch. Inside for ball 3 to Gross. Buber starting to get a little flustered out on that mound, it looks like. The 3-2 pitch. He bounces back and gets strike 3 for the out.
Second time he's got Gross looking. Just what the doctor ordered for Buber, as anything that's put in play would get the runner probably moved up. So Uber's here in a part of the lineup that Buber's here in a part of the lineup where he caught a few guys looking, but we're going to see a pinch hitter or Sager, who also catches. I'm not sure if he's going to enter the game and stay in catching. He's just going to pinch it here, and then Cole Smith will come back in. But at the moment, Sager's going to bat.
Uber sets. Kick in the first pitch to Sager inside. Almost past Edwards, but he's able to snag it in the turf for ball one. 1 out. Top of the fifth. 1-1 between Jefferson and Martinsburg. Go-ahead run for Jefferson on second. Pitch. Outside and off the glove of Edwards, and now the runner from second advances to third. So go-ahead run 90 feet away.
Yep, Martinsburg not typically gives up a lot of free bases, but there's 3 and just one batter here as a walk, stolen base, and now a wild pitch. Has a runner at third with 1 out.
2-0 pitch. Fouled off the net and ricocheting past the first base Jefferson dugout over towards the bullpen, where continuing to warm up is Cole Lewis. Count 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Check swing. Looks like did not go around, so the count 3 balls, 1 strike to Sager.
Tough place for Dave Boyd as he's right there in the C position. Really can't make that call.
3-1 delivery. Grounded to Oviedo. He's going to throw home. Edwards has it. The tag applied, and he's out. Great job by Braden Oviedo as the infield for Martinsburg was in. Got the grounder, fired at Edwards at home, and he's able to tag out Roberts to keep things tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, nice, great play there. Oviedo never thought second after that. Never thought for 1 second when that ball was hit that he was going to go to first. He was coming home. Edwards makes the catch, 2-handed tag. He really secured the baseball. I mean, Oviedo made a great play and a great throw, which is the toughest part of it, but also Edwards hanging on to that, making a good tag and covering that glove up with 2 hands and making a great tag there. So Martinsburg an out away from getting away.
Runner goes, pulling the bat back as he squared up the bunt is Ty Vickers. It's ball 1 and easily taking second is Sager.
Liam Healy is coming in to run.
Thank you.
So, because I assume that they brought in Sager in Cole Lewis's position as the catcher, so that gives him the opportunity for a courtesy runner. That courtesy runner, now we're going to look. I think Coach Bauer's going to ask for some interference here, possibly, as the batter stood, and the throw went hard left to the left side of the back shortstop side, and we're going to get some clarification.
Pause in action here in this top of the fifth.
As Jefferson has found that they could run some bases here, so they are playing some small ball, getting some free bases.
Now we'll have the umpires converse with one another.
And I think until he enters as the catcher, I'm not sure. I think it could be the fact that they have Sager in as a catcher, but he hasn't caught yet. So maybe maybe they can, maybe they can't. And I have to get clarification on that rule myself. But he's entered into the catcher's position. He hasn't caught, so that could be it. They could be saying he's not actually the catcher. Maybe he's just, if they're going to re-enter Cole Smith. But if he's in that spot and he is the catcher, yeah, I think what Dave Boyd is saying, he's in for the catcher, in the catcher's position in the lineup. Doesn't matter if he's going to get taken back out or not.
Yep, so trying to turn up the crowd mic maybe a little bit more, see if we can hear anything. I know it's still from a distance, so probably not. With a good crowd on hand, probably going to pick more of their conversations up than anything else. And you never know what's being said there. Yeah, could have a few Trip Tobins down there. And
not me.
Those people are wild. So 1-1 is our score here at P.O. Faulkner Park. And
might be talking about Trip Tobin down there.
Well, then you want to hear. It's all good things.
I don't know about that. When you're a baseball coach, you're about 50% approval rating. It's about as good as it gets. If you have 18 kids on a team, 9 are playing, then you have a 50% approval rating. You're like an umpire.
1 ball, no strikes to Ty Vickers. Runner on second, 2 outs between Jefferson and Martinsburg, tied at 1. Pitch from Carson Buber. Catches the inside corner to Vickers for a strike. The count now 1-1.
So I think the clarification was, as Sager came in that spot, he hasn't actually caught yet. Is he really, as the catcher, is he, can they courtesy run for him? And you got clarification at this point that apparently they can. So
Vickers fouls this one off. Count now 1-2. Buber trying to end this one and head to the bottom of the 5th. The pitch, swing and a miss. Edwards says he caught it, shows the glove to the umpire for out number 3. Strikeout number 5 for Carson Buber. So number 5 heads to the bottom of the 5 with the rest of the Bulldogs coming up the bat. Still 1-1 between Jefferson and Martinsburg. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and CV10. Back in
the Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you back to P.O. Faulkner Park as we head to the bottom half of inning number 5, which is brought to you by the Wagner Law Firm, West Virginia's premier DUI defense attorney. Visit westvirginiaduilawyers.com. Should be the 8-9-1 batters up to bat for Martinsburg. Brown, Steen, Everhart. It's Jet Gross, it looks like, still out on the mound for Jefferson, who we saw in the top of the 5th had Cole Lewis warming up, but it looks like, I believe he's still out in left.
So Cole Smith did re-enter, so Liam Sager pinch hit and then was able to be courtesy run for, apparently because he was in the catcher's position and has entered as the catcher, and now he's been taken back out, so Cole Smith back behind the plate after the pinch run. The pinch hit. Now, what part of the clarification is now is Liam Healy. If he was used as a courtesy runner, then he's still free to come back in the game. But if he was entered in that spot, if they're saying that he wasn't a courtesy runner, he actually was a pinch runner. If he was entered in the game, then he also will be no longer eligible. So right now, Sager is relegated to the bench. Is Healy? That's probably some of what Coach Ballard's trying to get clarification on.
1-0 pitch to Brown. It's a fly ball foul to the right. First strike, so the count 1-1. Cole Smith hands the baseball to his pitcher, Jet Gross, gives him a few words before they walk back to the mound for Gross and behind home plate for Smith. Amir Brown struck out looking on his first at-bat, so 0 for 1 today. 1-1 count, the pitch from Gross. He pops up, and it's a fly ball into right center field. Sam Hefner runs over to his left, looks up, makes the catch for out number 1.
Base runners are a rarity here, it seems like, as both these pitchers have not been touched up by multiple hits in a row, And when that happens and you don't allow many free bases, then you're not going to see a high-scoring game. And, late in May, doesn't surprise me that we see Martinsburg and Jefferson playing some pretty solid baseball.
Jackson Steen up the bat. First pitch from Jet Gross just misses for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Third baseman Alex Danner in, expecting maybe a bunt from Steen. The next pitch called a strike as Steen lets it go by, so the count 1-1. It's Gross on the rubber. Pitch. Called strike 2 as Steen is frozen there on that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch. Fouled off by Steen to stay alive. It's out of play to the left, keeping the count at 1-2.
Jet Gross, who doesn't have this crazy velocity fastball as Raleigh Morgan has, but he mixes his pitches well, stays down in the zone, doesn't get too rattled as a sophomore. And
Steen sends a soft grounder to first. He's hustling over and beats the pitcher to the bag. It's an infield single for Jackson Steen.
Yeah, Gross didn't break immediately. He heard the coaching staff, get over. I think when it was hit, Gross thought that it was probably going to be fielded by the second baseman because it was. But Guerra, he ventured out, way out there, and he had to because the ball was hit soft. If it gets to second baseman, there's no play. So he comes out, way over and then feeds a nice feed back to Guerra. But the speed of Steen gets him an infield hit.
Everhart squares to bunt. It's back to the pitcher. Nobody covers second. Throw to first. Guerra's there to get the out against Everhart, but the runner and Steen goes to second. So now the go-ahead run for Martinsburg in scoring position in the bottom of the 5th. It's the go-ahead run as we're tied up at 1-1.
Yeah, I believe that he was trying to maybe bunt it hard up towards the shortstop for a base hit. He's got it too hard. But there was a play at second, but no one was there.
Buber hits this one deep into left field, and it's down off the wall. And that's going to be an RBI for Carson Buber, giving Martinsburg a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, he jumped on that pitch. It's Buber is a guy who who's just so hard himself. He's so detailed, and he wants to be perfect. And until he learns that this game is a game that that you can't be perfect in, and I don't think he realizes how good he is at times. But he always comes through in big moments and is leader for this team. And we see Coach John Lowry coming out again to talk to Jet Gross, and he is once again kind of demonstrative with his hand motions, telling Jet. And I'm not sure exactly if he's talking to the whole team or what, but he certainly is pointing and has his hands moving, and now he's pointed over to Oviedo, and so he's trying to fire his guys up. I don't think it's negative. I just think he's just letting them know that, hey, you're in this game, let's get this done, and so Jet Gross didn't appear to be a berating, even what the camera showed, kind of some hand gesture, but I think he's just trying to fire this team up, and they're underdogs. They have to be coming here as underdogs, and they're going to put Oviedo on.
Yep, they're going to intentionally walk Oviedo to bring up Christian Alter, still a very good bat in this Martinsburg lineup. So with 2 outs, runners on first and second, so the intentional walk does set up an out at any base to end the inning, as there's 2 outs in this 2-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. Martinsburg leads Jefferson.
I just have to laugh a little bit because we're coming into this game and it's like it supposedly means nothing, but look at, you see Coach Byler and you see Coach John Lauer just coaching their hearts out here for their team, and this is what sectional baseball is going to be like, and tonight is kind of the first game of sectional baseball for Jefferson to hang in there and be able to get a win, and that gives them a huge boost that says we can go on and win this thing and go to state. For Martinsburg to fight through adversity and tight games says that we can do this. So neither one of these teams are playing this as a throwaway game that means nothing.
Count 1-1 to Alter. The first pitch was a ball. The second one, a big swing, and Alter just barely got a piece of it to foul it off.
Coaching staff at Martinsburg says when Christian Alter swings and falls down, that he's always good for a base hit after that.
So the 1-1 pitch misses outside from Gross, so the count now 2-1. We'll see if that trend continues then.
I think this has been one of the best played baseball games, well-coached baseball games that we've seen this year. And it doesn't surprise me that it's come down, in May in the final game.
And a check swing fouled off the bat from Alter. I think caught everybody out there off guard that he got a piece of that. And it's a 2-2 count now with 2 outs, 2 runners on. It's Oviedo at first. At second, it is Buber. 2-1, Martinsburg leads Jefferson. Jet Gross on the mound for the Cougars. And he'll step off to put the runners back.
R.J. Brown's actually courtesy running for the pitcher out there.
Thank you.
But they snuck that in on us during that pitching when he went out and talked to him.
2-2 pitch. Lined over the jumping Surf-Guerra into right field and down for a hit. The throw off the glove of the cutoff man, and it's 3-1 as Brown comes home to score from second. Martinsburg adds 2 here in the bottom of the 5th.
So Alter just has to fall down on a swing, and then he comes through. But this has been a great baseball game, and Martinsburg hits up and down the lineup. Alter has been a huge, what protection that gives Oviedo going forward. Now that Alter's had 2 big base hits, do you really want to walk, Oviedo at a certain time any longer? You're not, that's just, certainly was the right call.
Reisenweber hits a line drive to left field. It's down and rolls into the glove of Lewis. Coming around third, heading home's Oviedo. No throw, and it's now 4-1 Martinsburg in the bottom of the 5th as the hits continue to roll for the Bulldogs.
And again, just more protection for Oviedo, who's batting .500 this year. I believe if you look at the stats, it's phenomenal stats. You have to walk him in that spot, but to have that protection behind him and Alter and Rasmussen is going to make it really tough to make those decisions down the line for other teams in similar situations.
Back-to-back singles, runners at first and second. Owen Rubenthal up the bat now for Martinsburg. Pitch from Gross. Passed for strike 1.
Rubenthal flew out to left field on a ball that was hit pretty well early in the game. Struck out his last time.
This pitch, big swing and a miss from Rubenthal, as got fooled by the changeup. Count 0-2. Pitch. It's popped up by Rubenthal into the shallow center field. Shortstop Dominguez calls everybody else off. Will make the catch to end the bottom of the 5th inning. 3 runs come home to score for Martinsburg. They take a 4-1 lead on Jefferson. We'll head to the 6th after this 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
When you're looking for the perfect gift, look no further than L.A. Roberts Jewelers at 146 North Queen Street in downtown Martinsburg. Choose from a huge selection of unique items, from the finest diamonds that make your eyes sparkle to exquisite timepieces, figurines, and collectibles. Buying from L.A. Roberts Jewelers means that you've made the decision to do business with people who've excelled in the industry for more than 100 years. They'll be here tomorrow when you need them, and if you need your jewelry or your watch repaired, they'll do that too. L.A. Roberts in downtown Martinsburg. Old World Jewelers for a new age. If you or someone you know suffers from the disease of addiction, help is available from the Berkeley County Quick Response Team with peer recovery coaches and support promptly to the homes of those who've recently experienced an overdose. This collective effort towards recovery brings resources and services to the community, including naloxone and treatment options. Call 304-267-1313 or visit the Berkeley County Recovery Resource Center at 800 Emmett Rouse Drive, Martinsburg. The Berkeley County Quick Response Team is funded through a DHHR grant with the Berkeley-Morgan County Health Department.
We welcome you back here. 4-1, Martinsburg leads Jefferson. So we go to the top of the 6th, brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons.
Big inning there for Martinsburg. Really big spot there. Carson Buber breaking that 1-1 tie, giving him, helping himself out there, and he is. Let's see how he fares now. If Jefferson needs to respond, or they're going to be down to the final 3 outs, they need to chip away here. And Buber's here at the 9-1-2 spot in the lineup.
Yep, first pitch to Hafner from Buber inside for a ball. Buber. Next pitch. Low and away for ball 2 to Hafner. Sam Hafner grounded out to third. His only time up today.
Big out here for Buber, wanting to get that out before we get back to the top, where the damage has been done a bit.
This pitch misses in. The count now 3-0. Starting to bunt Hafner. He pulls it back, and it's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to start off the top of the 6th through Jefferson.
Big at bat there for Hafner. There's a lot of speed on the bases. Plus, he turns the lineup over to the top of the lineup with Cole Lewis and Cole Lewis and Riley Morgan coming up. Cole Lewis has that triple. A triple here would play to run, and certainly gives some momentum back to Jefferson. Jefferson has shown that they will steal down 4-1. Not sure if they would risk that or not, but have shown they will steal a base.
First pitch is a strike. Throw over to first from Edwards. Tag not applied by Brown as back to the bag already was Hafner. A 1 count to Lewis. Buber looks over his shoulder at the runner. Sets. 0-1 pitch. It's lined right to the second baseman. Everhart, 4, 6, 3 equals 2.
That's baseball math for you. It's a really nice job. Everhart stayed down, went on one knee, turned and threw a strike right to the shoulder right there, the left shoulder of Ovi. He tagged the bag there and over to first for a bang play. As Cole Lewis is no easy double play victim. He is very fast.
Now up to bat is Riley Morgan as the first pitch from Buber inside for ball 1.
And this is why in tight games Martinsburg has been able to keep that number 1 in the state ranking. Their defense is solid. What Oviedo did earlier, cutting down the run, what Rasenweber's done in the hole a couple times tonight, the 2 double plays, have erased base runners. That's really what has made Martinsburg who they are and the record that they have.
Count now 2-1 to Morgan as 2 pitches ago it was a strike. The last pitch was a ball.
Along with timely hitting and great pitching.
All the above.
And a little bit of coaching. Got to give the coaches.
Only a little?
Well, when you win, you have great players. When you lose, you have bad coaches. So that's just how things work for coaches.
2-1 pitch from Buber to Morgan. It's hit into right center field. Hustling over is Welt. He makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down goes Jefferson in the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Still Martinsburg 4, Jefferson 1. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at FordofHagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
We welcome you back here as we head to the bottom of the 6th, brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere, as we have a pitching change for Jefferson as our pitching changes. Trying to find the read here. Brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. I think since I set all this up, I know where the read is, right? Now pitching for Jefferson, number 9, Cole Lewis.
I don't think the Jet went out of the game. I believe he went to right. I think he just did a swap. I think it appears. Yeah, number 1 Jet has went to right field. The right fielder Sam Roberts went to left. The left fielder went to the pitcher's mound. So we had a 3-way swap here, as the lineup hasn't changed at all as far as entries and batting order. We've just swapped some positions here. Again, Jet Gross off the mound into right field. Right fielder to left field. The left fielder vacated by Cole Lewis, who's come to the mound. It looks like Jet's night ends with 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, one of those being the intentional walk to Oviedo.
First pitch swinging is Braden Edwards. He'll pop it up. It's in foul territory down the first base line in shallow left and caught for out number 1. So I kind of looked over late to see who that was making the catch.
It was Danner.
That's what I
He drifted all the way out there and made that play as the left fielder was coming on. It looked like it was going to, it could have been close to the line had it been dropped. It was, he had leaned back towards the field, so I thought it was clearly fouled and went off the bat, but it actually got back into the playing area almost, it looked like.
Jameer Brown now off the bat as the pitch from Lewis inside for a ball. 4-1, Martinsburg on top of Jefferson here in the bottom of the 6th. Brown 0 for 2 today. Pitch. I'll send into the night sky to center field. Underneath it already is Sam Hefner, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. 2 quick outs here in relief for Cole Lewis, as up to bat is Jackson Steen. 9th batter in the Martinsburg lineup, as Lewis came in facing the 7, 8, 9 batters for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Jackson Steen!
Steen hustled out the infield single in the bottom of the 5th, and later came home to score. Let the first pitch go by, and it's strike 1 from Lewis.
The big part about that last inning was all 3 of those runs came on 2 outs. The 2-out hitting was phenomenal. And a few weeks ago, we seen Martinsburg score 8 of their 10 runs on 2-out hitting. So, that's, when you can extend innings like that and put runs on the board, you're just, as we've got a 2-0 count here to Steen, or excuse me, 2-1 count to Steen. But that just shows some tremendous talent and maturization for a team to just settle in and pass the baton with 2 outs.
Steen lines this down the first base line. It's fair for a 2-out single. Steen now 2 for 3 today at the plate. 2 singles.
Again, the depth of Martinsburg, who's got two outfielders in shorts over there, and you still got outfielders performing, at a high level. So it's a very well put together, or very, very well rounded. How about that roster?
Keegan Everhart now up the bat. 2 outs. Runner on first, trying to extend Martinsburg's lead, which currently sits at 4-1 against Jefferson. The pitch from Lewis, low for ball 1 to Everhart. Everhart with 3 plate appearances. He's 0 for 2 on the day, as his last at bat was the sacrifice bunt. So pitch misses for a ball, and stealing second easily is Steen. Throw not close to the bag, to the left, and not in time.
Bueller.
2 balls, no strikes. Everhart, runner on second for Martinsburg.
Bueller.
Cole Lewis.
Bueller.
3 pitches, had 2 outs already in the bottom of the 6th, but now it's a runner on second. 2-0 count against Everhart. Lewis sets after talking with his catcher Smith. The pitch inside for ball 3 to Everhart.
this game couldn't have been more entertaining until up to this point, unless they maybe had a dance-off in the 4th inning. But other than that, this has been a really good baseball game, basically error-free game. Was a great pitching matchup. See ball 4 as Everhart walks, and it passes that baton down to one of the hottest hitters today here in Carson Buber.
I think it's safe to say that we should hold the dance-offs to rain delays here.
We can add it to like the 4th inning stretch.
Or that, yeah.
John says he's in.
Okay.
He'd do the YMCA for him.
It's Carson Buber up to bat. Alderton dancing to my right. Tripp encouraging it to my left.
Chuck wants to do the limbo, the announcer.
Freddie's undefeated in that.
He is.
I'm not challenging him. Pitch to Buber in the turf. Count now 2-0. During Legion baseball, if we have a rain delay and there's a dance-off and we put coach dance-off, are you doing it, Tripp?
I'll do the worm.
All right.
Yep.
We're not playing square dancing.
This pitch outside. The count now 3-0 to Buber as Cole Lewis kind of struggling to find the strike zone all of a sudden out on the mound for Jefferson.
Again, Martinsburg here with 2 outs. They do not go away easy, you know.
2 outs. Pitch. Mr. Automatic. Count now 3-1.
All right, one pitch. One pitch.
Everhart at first. Steen at second. Both take their leads. Got speed on the base pass. Buber's 3-1. Grounder over to third. Danner step on the bag to end the inning. So no insurance runs in the bottom of the 6th for Martinsburg as we head to the top of the 7th. Jefferson down 4-1. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor. And then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Welcome back here to P.O. Faulkner Park as we head to the top of the 7th, brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to fordofhagerstown.com. Jefferson down to its potential final 3 outs, unless they can get 3 or more runs as they trail Martinsburg 4-1. As the 3-4-5 batters will be due up for Jefferson, Guerra, Danner, Roberts. So we'll see what can happen here against the senior Carson Buber from Martinsburg, trying to go the complete game out on the mound and get win number 8 on the year for him out on the bump.
Guerra's double play ball up the middle, a run scored on that, and other than that, the Guerra fouled out to the first baseman, hit into a double play. The batter on deck, Alex Danner's grounded out to second and to third. And then Brady Roberts, who's scheduled to bat third, has struck out and walked. So Buber's handled this part of the lineup thus far.
Count now 1-1 as this pitch low to Guerra. Surf steps back in on the right-handed side against the senior Carson Buber. 1-1 pitch. Line into right center field. It's deep, sprinting for its Welt. And he makes the catch for out number 1.
And that ball left the bat. It had double written all over it. The speedy Wilt comes all the way over and makes a tremendous play, made it look easy, and that ball was read well off the bat, and he goes and gets it and saves a double there, and the momentum building double for for Jefferson, as Wilt just tracked that thing down. It made it look easy.
Alex Danner now up the bat. He'll swing through the first pitch and miss for strike one. Danner 0 for 2 today, grounded to third and second so far. As Boober steps off the rubber to reset. Martinsburg trying to get the season sweep against Jefferson, winning game 1 7-0. This pitch inside to Danner for a ball. They hold right now a 4-1 lead against the Cougars. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the top of the 7th. Pitch from Boober to Danner. Popped up into the infield. Boober steps off the mound, goes to his left, makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, curveball away. Danner wasn't able to stay back enough to drive it to right field, and just slapped at it there to protect it a little bit and protect the plate a little bit. A little early in the count for a defensive swing, but got called out on his front foot, and just a tremendous job of Boober as he's sitting here on a 1 hit and out away from a 1 hitter, and just a phenomenal outing.
Pitch outside to Brady Roberts from Boober for ball 1. Boober working quickly, trying to finish this one off, the 1-0. Outside for ball 2. The senior, his last regular season appearance for Martinsburg. 2-0 pitch. Called a strike as Roberts so far has not taken the bat off his shoulder this at bat. Count 2-1. The 2-1. Called strike 2 as again Roberts lets it go by.
For those wondering about Boober's pitch count, he's hit the low 90s here, so he's got plenty of pitches left to get the final out.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Boober sets. Wind up and the pitch to Roberts. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Roberts, and that's the ball game. Martinsburg improves to 27-2 to end the year with a 4-1 win over their rival Jefferson Cougars. We'll step aside, take a 2-minute break, and then be back for our post-game show. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, where accident, injury, and disability lawyers with over 120 years combined local trial experience. When injury or illness has stopped you from working, you may be eligible for Social Security disability. Ron Harmon has been winning disability claims for over a quarter of a century. Don't hire some out-of-state firm. Ron Harmon's in Martinsburg. He will meet with you right here in our office. Get a local lawyer you can trust. Call 304-LAWYERS for a free consultation. 304-LAWYERS or 304-263-0900.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Is your skin dry or breaking out? Are your muscles sore and tight? Then take a few hours or even a whole day to refresh yourself, recover, and rejuvenate at Personal Reflection Day Spa, located at 102 Hovatter Drive in Inwood. Personal Reflection Day Spa is an award-winning spa for 15 consecutive years. The friendly, experienced staff will give you the treatment you deserve from the minute you walk in the door. Book your appointment by calling 304-821-1333 or online at personalreflectiondayspa.com. Are you ready to flip into fun? Introducing Flip and Cheer Gymnastics, where parties, classes, and camps come alive with glow lights and non-stop action. Our professional party planner will work with you to design a dream party for your child. Book your party today and get ready for a high-energy celebration that will leave your guests beaming. And don't forget our classes and camps, where our expert coaches will help your child tumble, flip, and soar to new heights. Flip and Cheer Gymnastics, where every day is a chance to shine.
We welcome you back here to P.O. Faulkner Park as we enter the post-game show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu and daily specials in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page as Martinsburg gets a 4-1 victory over Jefferson to improve the Bulldogs to end the year at 27-2. Jefferson falls to 19-11. Martinsburg 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors, 7 left on base for Jefferson. 1 run on the 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. The 1 run coming in the top of the 4th for Jefferson after the Cole Lewis triple, followed by a walk for Riley Morgan, and then the Surf Guerra double play RBI. That's the only run for Jefferson. Martinsburg gets the run in the bottom of the 4th, and then they add on 3 more in the bottom of the 5th inning off 4 of the 8 hits. So that is your game summary, brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com as we wait for Trip Tobin down below to get our post-game interviews. He'll be joined by Aaron Byler after our player of the game, Carson Buber. This our player of the game is brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. As Carson Buber gets the win, going the complete game, only giving up the 1 hit, 1 run, striking out 6, and walking only 3. So while they come down behind home plate, we'll get ready to send it down to Tripp and Carson whenever you're ready.
All right, here with Martinsburg's player of the game, Carson Buber. Carson, not good for Jeff.
Again, I want to start off by saying, just like last time I pitched against Jefferson, my defense made very timely plays, I got to say. I mean, we had a double play in one of the mid-game, and that really helped us out to prevent, runs. I had to get out of jams. It was close there when they had runners in scoring position, but I just had to trust my defense. There are strikes, control the baseball.
8th straight win on the season here, but also tonight you're at a 1-1 tie. Come to the plate and you to double off the fence to give your team a 2-1 after that, and that goes behind it. Can you take us back through?
I think the first 2 bats I was really reading his ball. I mean, he has a lot of tail to it. He has a good arsenal of pitches. I think everybody tonight was on the baseball. I think there was a couple good quality hits right after me that just, I guess, moved our momentum forward, and that's exactly what we needed, timely hits.
The season's over now, you guys. You had a phenomenal win-loss record, but now you're 0-0 going into Tuesday night's game against Spring Mills. So how do you feel about this team's chances in the sectionals?
I think none of this we did before this really matters at this point. I mean, anything can happen in baseball, especially this area. So we could go in there and, not play the baseball we've been playing for the last 28 games or how many games we've been playing. So we just need to keep doing exactly what we're doing. Not change anything, keep the same mindset. I'm confident in our team. So.
Congratulations on an extremely great year, you and your team, and you personally with the stats you put up, and congratulations and good luck in the sectionals.
I appreciate it.
So now we wait here for Tripp. Looks like we might have to step aside, and we'll keep it here as Coach Aaron Byler is being held up just momentarily, so we will wait for him to make his way down the baseline to meet Tripp behind home plate so that we can grab him for an interview. So while we wait for them to kind of make sure here that we are good to go.
Here with Martinsburg head coach Aaron Byler. Coach Byler, congratulations on the win tonight. EPAC game really meant absolutely nothing when you look at it from a sectional standpoint, a seeding standpoint, but to me it was one of the most entertaining, hard-fought games of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
we want to say it meant nothing, but I think when you're dealing with 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, I think momentum is a big thing, and I think everybody would agree that you'd rather win that one than lose that one. And I thought our kids, kind of came up. They rose to the occasion. I don't think we played offensively. We weren't very good, but I guess you got to give a little bit of credit to Jet Gross. I mean, he threw the ball really, really well, kept us off balance, and we got 3, big hits there with 2 outs to put the final.
So Carson Buber 8-0 on the season. You send him out there tonight, and you told me in the other interview you hate to lose, and he's a guy who hates to lose, and he just showed so much grit and determination, and not only on the mound but came up with 2 outs, tie ball game 1-1, coming off a strikeout, and he delivers the death punch there, the go-ahead run that becomes a game-winning run. Just tell us about your player in Carson Buber, what you think about him and the season he's had.
Carson Buber is the EPAC Player of the Year, the Journal Player of the Year. He's got to be in the running for State Player of the Year, Metro News, Gatorade. Carson Buber has done it all. He's 8-0 on the mound. He's been a guy forever and ever for us. I think his stats speak for himself. He's a kid that's a little bit hard on himself at times, but when push comes to shove, he wants the ball, and he's gritty and love Carson to death. And he would also be the first one to tell you that he can't do without his teammates. So he's just that type of kid.
Yeah, great outing on the mound. Your bats woke up with 2 outs there in the 4th, but then the defense, the 2 double plays, and the outfielders, you're down a couple guys in the outfield, and yet you're still able to put quality outfield out there. Jackson Steen comes through. The depth of this team has kind of, has really carried this team throughout the regular season. And how are you going to be healed up in the sectionals with the other guys, or how do you see yourself there, or does it really matter at this point? Has the other guys shown enough that you feel like that you can go with the 9, 10, 11, 12 guys that you have in uniform?
Well, I think we spent so much time there talking about Carson and how well he threw, and he did throw really well, but we got to talk a little bit about the defense behind him. I mean, we made some plays there defensively, and we've made some play, Oviedo there with that turn at second, I don't think a lot of people realize he made that play look easy, and that was not an easy throw to handle. Logan Wilk, the guy comes in, he's been in and out of the lineup. He makes great read after great read out there. So these guys are just bought in. Whoever is in that lineup, I don't know if we'll be healthy. I don't know if Isaac Grove and Parker Robinson will be back, but a guy like Jackson Steen doesn't have many at bats all year. He's played a little bit in the outfield. He gets 2 hits last night. We put him tonight. He beats out. It's the fact that they buy in. They don't really care who's in the lineup, and they compete their butts off when they get a chance. And we're very fortunate enough to have each and every single one of them.
So last question, you had a phenomenal season. Unfortunately, in sectionals and high school baseball, that record is basically erased. Everybody's at 0-0, Tuesday night. You get Spring Mills, and then from then it just plays itself out with the rest of the section and into the region if you're able to get there. How do you feel about your team's chances?
I think sectional baseball is the best time of the year. I think that if each and every one of our guys, does their job, and we worry about ourselves and our dugout and our approach and our guys throwing strikes, I think we're going to be a tough out. We have to make sure that we handle our business and worry. I think the biggest thing is we got to worry more about us and not them, and hopefully things will take care of itself.
I've seen you guys play a lot of games this year, but after this game, your team seemed excited, upbeat, and I think it was, you said earlier the momentum's a big thing with these young guys, and so, the way this game was played out, if people wrote this game off as just a throwaway game, they missed a heck of a game.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good game, and I think it's, at the end of the day, it's really big to keep momentum and keep things moving on, and it's good to play a really quality, competitive baseball game before you start sectional play.
Congratulations on a great season and the win.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you to Trip Tobin for conducting our post-game interviews with Aaron Byler and Carson Buber. We'll now wrap things up and get our game stats brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. For Martinsburg, you had a hit from Carson Buber, getting an RBI there. Oviedo walked twice and got 2 runs while on base. Christian Alter with a 3-for-3 day and an RBI. Ben Reisenweber goes 1-for-2 with an RBI as well. Edwards gets a hit, and then Jackson Steen with 2 hits and a run again. 4 runs, 8 hits for Martinsburg. The 7 left on base. Carson Buber against the wind, going 7 innings, giving up a hit, only 1 run, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. The 1 hit coming from Cole Lewis, the triple, and he came home to score from the RBI double play that Surf Guerra hit into, and the loss goes to Jet Gross. He went 5 innings, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs, striking out 5, walking 3. Lewis, 1 inning of 1 hit ball and a walk. That'll wrap things up from P.O. Faulkner Park. Again, Tuesday, playoff baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 between Martinsburg and Spring Mills. First pitch 7 p.m. Pregame coverage at 6:40 for Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop, John Alderton, Trip Tobin. I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off again. Final score, Martinsburg 4, Jefferson 1. This has been West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Baseball. Today's game broadcast has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford, Rocks, the Heffley Motor Company, the Wagner Law Firm, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, the Skinner Law Firm, the Browns Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, Orsini's, Carter Myers Automotive, Century 21 Modern Realty Results, the Palace Lounge, Cody's Auto Body, WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Mother Shuckers, L.A. Roberts Jewelers, the Dutch Miller Auto Group, and the Mansion Freddie Law Firm.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball, keep it tuned to FM 106.5, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online talkradiowrnr.com. All rights reserved.